Hello, but who cares? And here's my spoiler talks for Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. Now, obviously, this is not a review because it's not finished. Because this is split in 3 parts. And yes, I do think it's done. So, obviously, it's not a review. This is my thoughts, what I thought of the first 4 episodes of the season, what I like, what I dislike. And I'm not going through every single detail because obviously with Stranger Things being one of the biggest shows in the world at the moment now, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of videos on here on YouTube that are going to go through better detail, better theories, and go to a single screenshot, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to give what I like, what I dislike quickly, you know what I mean? Going to be some cuts there and there because I've got like a big note here, what I actually like, what I dislike about the first volume of, the last season. So, just to point this straight, as I said before, this will involve spoilers. So, if you have not seen, this volume of season 5, don't watch the video now. Watch the episode first, then watch the video. So this is my warning. Okay. So my thoughts of the first volume, fantastic. Yeah. Again, there's problems in there which I explain in a second, but most of it is positive. The first episode, yeah, I know the reactions because this is the thing. I watched it when it first came out. Then, last night at the time of me recording this. And I was on Twitter and watching it at the same time because people were reacting in real time watching it at 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK. In the UK time zone, you know what I mean? So, around the world, in America, all that stuff. And the first episode was mixed. And I can see why, because the first half of it is slow. Like, slow. But you got to understand, it's been a while now. I think it's like 3 years like that since the last season came out. So you got to have you got to have like not a recap on the whole series, but you got to have like what you call it to get your characters again. At the same time, what happened to them? Because obviously the dramatic events from last season will affect them, especially people like Dustin. Like Dustin changes big in this season. Now, do I have problems with him near the end? Kind of, because I actually like the idea what it went with in the beginning, which is he's just not just completely Cav no more. He's he's depressed. He's angry because after thinking that when Eddie died, everyone still think he is a monster, even though he is not. And he wants to prove people wrong, and the problem is the way he's doing it. He's pushing himself too much. Even his friends said, "Listen, we get it, but you can't fight every single battle, especially in the situation we're in now with, Vecna." Now, I still believe Vecna could still be alive, but some of them don't. You know what I mean? Some of them still think he's dead, but some of them think there is a possibility that he is alive. You know what I mean? So Dustin has got a big change, and my only problem with him is he does technically go back his own ways near the end of the last episode. So that's my only problem with that. I do like, his change. And again, I'm not saying don't make him go back to normal, but I want to make him go back to normal this soon, you know what I mean? That's my only problem. Maybe that at the halfway through, or what you call it, at the end of season, volume 2. That's how we're done, make him go back to normal a bit. Now, for the rest of the cast, they went on doing their own ways, and at the same time, I said, still walking into, the Vecna thing. And just the thing too, the whole town's on lockdown. Which again, I like it done that. And it does have a good premise and stuff like that. Now, so two big talking points in the whole series. We'll get them out of the way. The first one is the major one that ended the first volume, which is Will got powers. Yeah, he got powers. And be honest with you, I'm not shocked. Because there was a theory about this about a couple of years ago. And be honest with you, I believed it. It makes sense. Now, people are going to say, how it makes sense. If Vecna is his first victim, he does actually say that thanks for him, he knows how the complex of fear works, how complex of kids work, you know what I mean? And especially, Will is his first proper victim, technically. And it reminded me of Harry Potter with Voldemort and Harry. Now, Voldemort came in, killed, Harry's parents, and done the curse, the death spell on the baby with Harry. And without even knowing, he made Harry become a Horcrux, which is a part of Voldemort. And that's why they are connected all the way through the series. It's he can speak Snake, he can sense where he's coming, know what I mean? And this is the same thing here with Vecna and Will. Anytime Vecna is there, or not even there, but if he's doing an attack or try to kill a kid, Will can feel it. Will he's like a radar. So basically, they are connected. So if they are connected together, there is a chance that he could have some of his abilities, and to him to unlock that makes sense for the story, of the whole show. So I'm up for it. Yeah, I know some fans might say it's cringe and stuff like that. No, I think it makes sense, especially with the whole way said the story with Will and Vecna. Now, along with that, you got the whole thing of Will being gay. Now, we all knew this from last season, especially last season. Yeah, I know before that, season 1, 2, and 3, there's hints about that anyway. But last season, we all know it's a well obvious hint now that Will is gay and he got feelings for Mike. And basically, what do you call it? Told what her name hit, I get it up now, hit. She told him about, basically saying coming out, know what I mean, made her lighten up, know what I mean, and made who she is. And basically, he basically done it. Now, he didn't tell Will, obviously, that he's gay, or he didn't told no he's gay, but he let himself out once Vecna, told him, thanks for you, know what I mean? It's all you that why I like this, because you give me, the premise of doing what I'm doing. And because that it did hurt him, you can tell by the it hurt him. And you got like all these memories of him as a kid with Mike. You get it all out. Basically, and that's how he got his powers. And it should be interesting what you're gonna do in the volume 2. Or even the finale, volume 3. It should be very interesting what you're going to do, because how am I going to take it? You know what I mean? And again, I'm not being hopeful all that, because obviously it is a tricky subject, because if you're gay, there's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay. But the problem is, if a person that you got a crush on, the person that you love, is obvious not gay, because he's not gay, how you going to tell him that? And how he going to take it? Some people might take it differently. Some people might say, "Oh, I'm not gay, but I still be there for you." Or there people out there saying, "I do not want to know you." Know what I mean? Now, Will might do that. No, he won't. But there's that fear, isn't it? There's always that fear of Will thinking that, know what I mean? So that should be interesting in the next volume. And then the other one, big talking point, is Max. Yeah, Max is, well, she's alive. She is alive, and she is trapped inside Vecna's head. And they actually explain that in episode 3, I think. Or yeah, episode 3 and episode 4, basically saying that she be reliving Vecna's memories that which she's been in the last God, how long, no, that's where she's been while she's in a coma. Obviously, she is in a coma after the event of the last season. And then we got here helping Maury. Because this is the thing too, Maury play a big important part of this volume because Vecna choose to kidnap her. And this is a bit that I'm mixed on, because this is the thing. It makes sense he's talking here. Because again, she's a kid and she's close to, the main gang. Again, she's Vino's sister. What's his name? Mike's sister. But the problem I've got is Mike, especially Mike. He's so picked on this imaginary friend. Yeah, I know people will say, "Oh, it's normal. Kids have imaginary friends." I agree. It's normal. There's nothing really be to saying about. But the problem is, if deep down you know Vecna is alive, and again you're in this weird town when weird crap happens all the time, having a imaginary friend, I would still investigate that just in case that could be Vecna, because again, Vecna always targets unavoidable, which is little kids, especially little kids. So, yeah, if that would be me, and I got a little sister who's had the imaginary friends and she's acting all weird, I will look into it. I would have done, especially what happened to me in the past 4 seasons of the show, know what I mean? But that's the thing that annoys me. Not Holly, because I think she makes sense for the whole story. She does. But it's just how she get kidnapped and how, no one noticed this. I understand the parents because, again, the parents are freaking stupid, but Mike, come on, Mike. You should have picked this on, know what I mean? It's obvious. So, that's my problem with that bit. But except from that, yeah. Now, then we go to what is his name? Hopper and 11. Because obviously they are another key point in the story. They both go back and forth in the beginning. Basically, 11 pushes herself too hard. Hopper's worried about that. Then she wants to go to the Upside Down with the others to go for Vecna. And he refused to let her go, even though he promised her. And we all know why, because he's overprotective because of his past trauma of losing his own kid, and he don't lose another kid, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's not his blood, but he's still adopted there, you know what I mean? He cares about her. So, yeah, he is going to be overprotective. Then, eventually, a boat goes to the Upside Down. He went there during the mission on Vecna, went wrong, one for Vecna, went wrong in basically the beginning. And 11 went there because when they got kidnapped, one of them Holly got kidnapped, there was more portal, so she went through that before it closes to go for Holly, and eventually they both meet each other in the Upside Down, Hopper and 11. So eventually it goes to the lab from the company that from all through the series, even though still freaking idiots because amount of time you lost out. Yeah, I know there are benefits. You think there's benefits, but for fixed sake, the amount of casualties, the amount of stuff you don't want for fixed sake, you made a whole town quarantine now because of your arrogance, you know what I mean? So, and you all went to war with another country because of your stupidity, you know what I mean? With what's that in season 3, I think it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's that, you know what I mean? So, there's a moment near the end where you're thinking, oh my god, they're going to do it. They're going to kill off like a big, amazing character, which is Hopper. And he doesn't die again. I gotta admit, I laughed at that because I thought, okay, that it even teasing that he is going to die in the next volume or near the end of volume 3 of the season, or they're not going to do it, know what I mean? Because it's getting like Glenn of The Walking Dead, not the comic, but on the TV series, with a hint his death so many times, know what I mean? So, yeah, I find that funny. But to be fair, the twist was quite good. Instead of, Sapphire himself, he came out because the were banging the door, begging him not to do it. Because in the door, there's probably a weapon that is making Eleven weaker. And he came out saying, we all thinking, why he came out? He goes Sapphire himself. And then he opened the door, and the big twist, which most fans wanted, is we got the return of a character from the worst episode coming to the fans. Eleven's sister. She's back. And the thing is, I don't hate that episode. I'm one of the people that thinks that episode is okay. It's the best one? No. It's still a decent episode. But to be fair, even people who hate the episode still want it to come back because it is a big plot point in the whole series. We got another 11 basically on the one. Yeah, I know the point is more out there, but as on screen, we got another one on the one since I think it's season 2. You know what I mean? So all these years, we got no information what happens to this girl. You know what I mean? And while all the crap happened in this poor city, you know what I mean, during those seasons where she wasn't in. So now she's back, and the thing is, we don't know, why she's there. So that could be, we probably find that out in volume 2, probably. So that's gonna be very, very interesting on that. Now, that's basically it on the main point I want to talk about. There's other stuff too. But again, I don't want to be there for hours and hours, know what I mean? And especially like I said before, there's going to be better videos than my videos. We'll go through every single inch of the series, which it will be. There will be channels out there will go to each screenshot, know what I mean? Each snap of the shot to see Easter egg or hints or deep dive on characters, know what I mean? There's going to be better videos than this, out there. But one thing I do want to mention, and this is a funny joke. If they want to make a live action South Park, you got your Eric Cartman there. I'm not saying because he's big for fixing. Look at me. If I call big, hypocrite. Know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm big. Know what I mean? It's not because of that. It's because of the way he acted. He is a fucking ass. He is an ass. Yeah, to be fair, later on the episodes, he did win me over a bit, know what I mean? But honest to God, people online, but just the thing, like I said before, I actually was on Twitter watching the show at the same time, and we acted at the same time with people watching the show. They came out at 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK, and people were saying the same thing. Eric Cartman. Okay, with that aside, my overall thoughts, it's good. I cannot wait for Volume 2 and Volume 3. And the thing is, I still hate the Harry Louise. I get it. They want to make more money. And to be fair, I don't mind being 2 parts. Like, the money bit. For money bit, we gotta pay more money. That sucks. But talk about like talking point and hype. It's better by doing this because if it was other episodes, people talk about a week and move on. But now we got 4 weeks people talking about what's gonna happen. Had their own theories, know what I mean? Had their own discussions. So it's better in that way. The bit I'm not happy with is by doing it in 3 parts. Now, if it's enough episodes, fine. The problem is we got 4 episodes now. Then part 2 comes out. We got 3. And then to finish off the whole season, which is the final part, is 1 episode. It's 2 hours something. I'm like, really? Could you put that in volume 2? Know what I mean? Because this does seem like milking. Know what I mean? And other people will say, but how about the talking point thing? Again, you only do it by a week. Just why? It seemed pointless, know what I mean? So that's my only big major fault is the 3-part thing. Do 2, because it's 8 episodes, do 4 each. That's it, know what I mean? But there's like a decent amount of episodes. Just say 12. Yeah, do 3 parts. But yeah. So what are you saying? Loving it so far now. So my question of the day is, before I leave, is what you thought of Volume 1 of Season 5 so far now. I'd like to hear it on the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, as I look, talk about on shows, movies, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. So, this way, who cares? See you on the next one.